Hey y'all! It's officially stepdaddy season. Yeah, what up? I got the car seat in the back. Let's go to the park.
So I know you remember that, right? It's stepdad season. Well, Brittany is still having a hard time finding somebody to take her seriously, although she's going through a complete season. She wasn't able to bait and catch a simp or find somebody to take her seriously. Now she may be going through another season of having relations with men, but she has no significant offers from the men that she would actually want. And we already know why Brittany is having such a tough time. We talk about this all the time about how women like her, they're unable to attract and keep a decent man. But now she's back and giving more proof and confirmation on why that is happening. Take a second to make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, and don't forget to click that notification bell and select all for all updates so you never miss a video here. Not gonna waste any time, let's go ahead and take a look at this.
It's painfully obvious why men love the idea of a submissive woman. Submissive, per its definition, is ready to conform to the authority or will of others. The prefix sub means under. Think of subpar, submarine. In short, your world is under his. Now there seems to be a theme here. Good girls versus bad girls. A lock that can be opened with many keys is a broken lock. And if you can't submit to a man, you're gonna die alone. So my question to men is, do you want perfect poly? A puppet? A prisoner? Or a partner who has no problem overtly challenging you? King treatment and knowing your partner's love languages, that's one thing. Being submissive is a whole nother thing. It's its own thing. If you find yourself abandoning your wants, needs, desires to make something work, I'm here to tell you, it was never a match to begin with.
That video right there, it was watched by millions on Instagram alone. A lot of these women applauding her, and we'll get into them in a second. But let's dive into what Brittany said first.
It's painfully obvious why men love the idea of a submissive woman. Submissive, per its definition, is ready to conform to the authority or will of others.
And by the way, you notice that these same women, they have no issue with submitting to their bosses at work or anybody they perceive to have a high level of power that they can benefit from.
The prefix sub means under. Think of subpar, submarine. In short, your world is under his.
And then what are you talking about? A submarine isn't weak. A submarine is powerful. The prefix sub also means a secondary part of something else. And being a part of something else doesn't make you weak. Everybody can't be on the same level. And in her case, she wanted to go with sub being lower or under. Okay, yeah, the woman is under the covering of a man. If you're not under his authority, you're not under his covering. You don't get the protection. Somebody's got to be stronger, and it's the man. See, y'all run around talking about protect all women, but then you also want to be looked at as strong. Like, which one is it? Because if you're so strong, you don't need protection. The strongest person is going to do the defending.
Now there seems to be a theme here. Good girls versus bad girls. A lock that can be opened with many keys is a broken lock. And if you can't submit to a man, you're gonna die alone. So my question to men is, do you want perfect poly? A puppet? A prisoner? Or a partner who has no problem overtly challenging you?
And that right there is why modern women will be alone. And they deserve it too. No man wants to be with a woman talking about challenging him. We already know Brittany is a rebel. This is what rebels do. They challenge authority. They won't fall in line. And you can forget about submission. They won't even cooperate. They're combative. Men don't want to argue with you all day just to get you to fall in line. And that's why so many ladies are alone. They're the know-it-alls. They know everything. They can't learn anything else. They can't listen to anybody else. They think they know better than you.
King treatment and knowing your partner's love languages, that's one thing. Being submissive is a whole nother thing. It's its own thing.
I'm glad she said that too, because I noticed here that a lot of women, they like to say that they don't have a problem with catering to a man, or they like to call it giving him king treatment. It's not the same thing as being a submissive woman, but what they've been able to successfully do is get you to use those words interchangeably, just like they like to use the word cooperate. I do agree with Brittany here though, it's not the same thing. And they know it, and that's why they do that. They love to play those word games. We have to be honest here though. Men, when you allow women to have you changing up your words, talking about making it easier for them to digest, well, you're submitting to them, and that's what they want. Submitting to your man is giving him the utmost respect and recognizing that he's the authority. He's the one that's in charge. That's it. Catering to a man or giving him king treatment is different. That's serving a man. And somebody can serve you and still not have respect for you. Somebody can serve you and still be unruly and disobedient. For example, we've all been at a restaurant. We've had a waiter or a waitress. They're all serving, but there's different levels to it, and it's bad service and good service. They can serve you, bring you your food, and do all that stuff and still have a nasty attitude. Basically, what I'm saying here is that a woman who's submissive to you, she won't have a problem catering to you. But a woman who's catering to you, she could still have an issue with submitting to you. Her catering to you doesn't automatically make her submissive.
If you find yourself abandoning your wants, needs, desires to make something work, I'm here to tell you, it was never a match to begin with.
That can be true too. That's why I say you can't mold stale bread. A lot of these women, you cannot change them. They're not ever going to get on your program. No matter what conditions they're talking about, you have to meet. That's because it's just not in them. But some of you, you're out there trying to fit a circle into a square and it won't fit. You just can't mold stale bread. They're past the point of being able to teach them something. Now, I can't forget about those blue check marks that was co-signing this baloney, this nonsense. B. Simone, she's like, speak queen, and clapping this all up in the comments. Not surprised there. We're talking about B. Simone, who cannot find any man to put up with her and never apologized for her comments about Dr. King on her show. You had this nasty one right here, Sukihana, applauding Britney for her comments. Yeah, the same one who was just popping her thought pocket on somebody's son, a little boy. Then you had Tahiry, always putting paws on men, but she'll get on IG and try to figure out a way to look like a victim. I've told you about Tahiry. She's also out of order. Tahiry says she isn't wrong either, so she's supporting this mess. And then you had Riley, Amber P. Riley. She used to be on Glee. You may not recognize her because she lost a lot of weight, but she said, ask a man why he needs a woman to submit. The answers I've gotten have danced around it, but the gist is control. I'm not doing it ever. Another rebel coming out, talking about how she's not going to submit ever and showing why she still can't get a man. Doesn't matter that she lost weight, look at her mindset. The part where she said the answers I've gotten have danced around it, that's another point. If you're going to communicate with these rebels, you have to mean what you say what you mean, and stand on it. One of the reasons why they hated Kevin Samuels but couldn't stop watching him, because you're dealing with people that need direct communication. If you don't give them that, they'll walk all over you. And I also don't blame men for not communicating with her at all, because she says, I'm not going to submit ever. It's nothing you can do or say to her to make her fall in line. And you know what? That's for a lot of them. You have so many of them that talk about this conditional femininity. They come with all that chameleon talk. You know, I'll do this if, I'll do that if. The truth is, it's not even in them. If you're a feminine woman, you're a feminine woman. It's not, I'm only going to be feminine if this condition is met or if that condition is met. It's not none of that. And speaking of conditional femininity, I've done countless videos on that too, especially one on Carrie Hilson with that faux femininity, conditional femininity talk that she was spewing. So I wasn't surprised when I saw Carrie supporting Britney's statement as well. Carrie Hilson said submission seems to have varied definitions and practices for men and women. To me, it means submitting to and trusting his decision making for us. He's accepting the accountability of taking on the heavier weight of those decisions. And in that case, I will gladly handle the nurturing duties. You see, Carrie, she's slick. She's always coming from the angle of conditional femininity. And if you're really not able to identify this type of stuff, it'll go over some people's heads. And by the way, it's been like 1 or 2 years, and Carrie, she's talking the same rhetoric. The key words here, in that case, that's the if. I will gladly handle the nurturing duties. She went on to say, but that doesn't mean in my preferred dynamic, not sharing my opinion or discussing certain aspects that I may see on the way to those decisions. Maybe not for every single decision, but being heard and valued as a partner in the shared outcome. I said this a bunch of times. You are not a partner. Not in the situation where a man is the head of household, he's the head, he's the leader, he's the number one in command. She's not your partner. And every time you're open to this partnership idea, you're going to get a woman like this. But what she's really saying is making sure that you know that she's still going to challenge your authority. But she's trying to soften it up as if, you know, I just want to make sure I have my input. No, that's not what she's saying. Submission for me isn't allowing the man to have the only opinion or judgment. See there? That's where the partnership thing comes in. She's trying to make sure that she has a say too. She says some women have a certain viewpoint or strength, gift, or observation, intuition, and insight. Now, there's a process on both sides of trusting the other's strengths and abilities. Some men want their women to just bow down to foolishness or unreasonable, unthought out, or volatile decisions just because of his gender. Ladies, a lot of you're treating femininity like it's a light switch. You can't turn it on and off. I'm saying that you can't submit to that man, you don't need to be with him. You don't even get into a relationship with a man whose judgment you can't trust. It makes absolutely no sense. So yeah, that's back on you. If you can't submit to that man, you shouldn't even be with them. Why would you even engage with a man who you believe that's undeserving of your submission? Because you're a feminine submissive woman, right? It's up to you to vet properly to make sure that you're getting in the right relationship with the man that's qualified for a woman like you, a submissive woman, a feminine woman. But we already know what the truth is with women like this. That's their excuse to be disobedient either way. He could be a great man, great leader, all of that, and they still won't give him the proper respect. Because it's not about him, it's about her wanting power and authority too. That's why they say partnership. Now what else did Miss Carrie say? Carrie said, "Sir, you ain't leading me straight to hell in a handbasket. I think this is a difference between what an accountable man wants and what a weak man wants." Here we go with some more of that sign language. Carrie, let's talk about why you would be with what you call a weak man anyway. You get with men like that because you think you can control him. You know you don't respect him and you won't listen to him. Why are you with him? Yeah, you picked him for that exact reason. Because you want to control him. And then Carrie says, a real man wants a partner who makes him better, who challenges gracefully, healthily, lovingly, and peacefully. A weak man wants a woman below him so he can stay the same. Just more babble from these strong, independent women. They love to get with the men they think are weak because those are the ones they can control. Those are the ones they think they can lead with and partner with. And to take it a step further, they really don't want to partner with you. They want to be supreme. They want to be over you. At the end of the day, we all understand this hierarchy. And these women, they want to be the top. That's why they have such a hard time with the idea of submission. The solution here is to avoid trying to mold stale bread. The focus for me is on the younger women, teaching them so that they don't fall into these same traps. You had millions of people watch Britney say this with no counter. I wonder if any of them noticed Britney's results. She's not happy where she is, yet she's continuing to resist because she's unwilling to change. And nobody's going to make her change either. That's why men have to deal with women with the right mindset that's already ready to join your program. The Britneys of the world will never change. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started below. Why are these women having such a hard time digesting the idea of submission? Special thank you to Tyrone W. and Felix. I appreciate you for your support, as well as Kevin F., Robert P., Fred, Dark Power, and our sister Natalie from Nashville. Want to see more content like this? You can support the channel too. Links to Cash App and PayPal are below. Ladies, fellas, want a balanced analysis, want the truth from a woman's perspective? Then you're going to want to subscribe to this channel and don't forget to like and share.